Hello everyone, this is Brett Keane, and I'm going to talk about a discussion I had with a Christian. Um, well, he didn't consider himself the conventional Christian, but had a lot of the pretty much the same views. I think that most likely he was probably ashamed of his Christian belief system, and he wanted to be considered something outside of what most people usually see as a representation of Christianity. It seems to be a modern day deal, something, they just don't like to be compared with all the other Christians and hold that burden, which I fucking understand. I totally get. Well, he was basically talking to me, and he was telling me, Brett, you bring up all these verses about genocide and bad shit and all this kind of stuff. And he goes, but what does it matter? If this life is not the end, and when we die, we're going to live forever and ever with God and His presence and be happy in heaven, then why even bother worrying about how you die? It's not like you can do anything about it. When you die, you die. So who are you to question how God decides to take you out of this world? Who are you to question the suffering and the pain that happens, being that you're a finite human being? Well, the first thing I would probably answer with is this, and this is the simplest basic answer, is one, I'm not religious. I don't believe in a heaven. I'm convinced that whenever we pass away and we die, some parts of us will go on. Some parts. The energy, because energy can't be destroyed. It can only be reformed. It can only be transferred, changed, la 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 la. Alright? This doesn't mean a shitting thing, though. This doesn't mean you're going to carry your memories or your consciousness as far as we know. As far as our understanding of the mind and brain as we have now. So, this life, for me, is significant. It is everything to me. Within this life, I have met a beautiful woman that I'm married with. I have wonderful children that I'm committed to and I'm responsible for. In this life, this is the life in which I lost my virginity. This is the life that I actually got to share with a mother and father at one point in time and my family members and friends. This life, I have been able to understand and be able to know people better. I've learned how to change and modify my views. With this life, I've experienced pleasure and pain and suffering. This life is everything I have ever known, and it is something that I take pleasure in at times. Sometimes life can be so hard I wonder why it is I'm even here. It's strange. I know a lot of people have felt that way. They feel like, why am I here? Why am I existing whenever shit's hard and when shit's challenging and we just don't know how to rationalize our way through it? But the theist doesn't have any value of life. As far as they're concerned, this is just testing ground. This is just simply the wind. It comes, it goes, it's gone. There's no reason to take care of it. There's no reason to value it or nurture it because life is like the wind. It blows in, leaves a little bit of a commotion, and it's gone just as quick as it came in. So why even bother? Why caring? Well, this kind of attitude, along with fucking multivarious brainwashing, life doesn't have significance, me as a human being doesn't have significance, I can't do anything without the assistance of God, this can cause a person to have a lot of psychological problems. It can cause a person not to be able to ever look for answers or any alternatives or truth outside of their belief system. Because since life doesn't mean anything and Jesus is the answer, then why bother fucking cracking open any books? Why bother trying to make better technology? Why bother even creating cures to help out people who are sick? Why bother going out and helping anybody since that motherfucker's going to be dead anyway, and so are you? With that kind of thinking, nothing would ever get done. Humanity needs its challenges, and it needs to value the obstacles, the pain, the suffering, and it needs to take notice and not take for granted what it's capable of doing. We can't do that. One of the most oxymorons I've ever heard a Christian say to me is, I'm an environmentalist. I love the world and I want to take care of what God made. But why? If God's going to come back in the clouds and destroy the very fucking planet that you're trying to preserve, what would be the point? It's an oxymoron. You will rarely find any Christians who are environmentalists because they believe that the pale horse is coming and he's going to fucking not be happy whenever he gets here. So that's how I see it. And you know, the Christian still doesn't understand, he still doesn't get, or she or him or whatever the deal is that even if you do die and there is actually a God or an afterlife, who's to say that it's going to be your God, it's going to be your brand? You might be wrong, and since you've already chosen, way before you even looked into any other perspectives, what you think the answer is, you never took the time to find out what exactly is the truth. You never validated your own faith. You never tried to make your faith stronger by looking into other religions or trying to find out what other people believe and why they believe. There's no possible way that you could ever seek any kind of truth or any understanding outside of what you've already been told and you're convinced of. Since you've decided that Jesus is the way, you've decided that there's no point in studying or researching. Why for? It's not like it's going to mean anything. Again, life is just the wind. It comes and goes. Well, for me, it's not so simple. I may not live forever. I may not get to always breathe. My heart may stop beating. But I can make a difference that will live beyond my existence. I can do things for people and I can benefit others that they'll always remember and they'll pass on to their sons and daughters. And in that way, I'm almost immortalized. Through my writings and through my videos and through the information that I put out there for people, even when I'm dead, I will still be relevant. My information, the knowledge that I've obtained, the love, the feelings I've had, even the anger, even the aggravation and my annoyance, will all be known. It will forever be recorded until one day the world does end, but it won't be in some apocalyptic way where a God returns and destroys shit. But as long as life and humanity exist, I will exist. I will always be. You've been listening to Brett Keane, and my values are in life and how significant it is. But I've also said in the past too, when it comes to the grand scale of things, us compared to the universe, we are infantile in our understanding, and in that way we are insignificant. But in our own perceptions and with our own values, they do mean something. They mean something to the people around us. What we do may not affect the stars and they may not cause the universe to unfold, but we might be able to change somebody's world. And that's what's important to me. You've been listening to Brett Keane, the man who likes to make people smile.